Hello everyone. In today's lesson, I'm going to talk about how to write linear equations to model a real life situations and then compare the best by. So one of the best advantages of linear equations is comparing two scenarios and deciding which one is a better option. So we call these as simultaneous linear equations, and you're comparing um, you can compare the profit, the loss, break-even points. Break-even point is nothing but the point where the loss changes to profits. So the start to set up, there is a certain cost, and then you start selling your products at a certain price with a flat fee or something. And then after some time, at what point do you actually make profit in your business? So these kind of situations are modeled using simultaneous. But today I'm going to talk about two scenarios. So most common situations is when you have to go buy a cell phone plan. I know you usually don't sit and do linear equations, but behind what they are promoting, what you see on their websites, advertisements, this is what they did it. But even like if you want to know in the long run, after using this plan for this much amount of time, how would it affect? I would do it. I would usually do it and compare whenever I'm buying things. And these are the two companies that we're quite familiar in US with, that we have used phones before. So this is a hypothetical data. Let's say T-Mobile is offering $35 plus $10 for every 50 GB data. So in this is 2025, year 2025, and back 10 years ago, getting like a 5 GB data or 1 GB data plan, that itself was huge. But now the data is chunked into 50 GB. So since both companies are offering at 50 GB, let's treat that as per unit, okay? Per unit value, per data. So then the question is, let's say there are two families going on a vacation, and we are comparing, and there are family of four. Okay, so let's say dad's phone has been used as for hotspotting, and they don't have individual data plans, but they are depending on data. So for dad's phone's data, and then in that situation, what would happen? Okay, so let's say in the first situation there is a $35 flat, but the per value is changing for every 50 GB $10. So how would you write this equation? So you would write this as, let's call, because it's T-Mobile, let's put cost of CT is nothing but 35 plus $10 of data, right? I'm using 50 GB, so don't worry about the 50, it didn't disappear. I'm comparing 50 GB to 50 GB, so I'm treating that as a per unit value. So in the first situation, if you are only using 150 GB per month, it would be 35 plus 10 times 1. Agreed? So all you have to do is substitute 1 in place of D. This would end up as 45. Now, then in the next situation, 35 plus 20. So that would have been 55. 35 plus 10 times 3. That would have been 65. Then 35 plus 10 times 4. I'm substituting these values in D. That's all I'm doing. So if you have calculators, you can do it. But you can see a pattern that the next one should be increased by 75. Now, in the other situation, let's say, so because it's a family of four, each person has used up 50, 50, 50. So that's how I'm treating this. The second situation for AT&T, your cost of AT&T, I'll write it as CA, which is gonna be 50 plus $5 for every data that they use, right? So this is your D, this is your CA. Now, in this situation, what would you see? So 50 plus, remember you are substituting your D value right here for each one of them and getting the answer. So 50 plus 5, 55. 50 plus 10, that would be 60. 50 plus 15, that would be 65. And then finally 50 plus 5 times 4, that would be 70. So to begin with, we thought that $35 flat fee, um and hardly I would use, so 55 plus 40, 10, that you would have assumed that 45 would be my bill. But when you have gone for an occasion and your family is completely relying on your data plan, you can see that AT&T, even though it started a flat fee of $50, but because of its data usage cost, for a 200 GB data usage, it is much cheaper. So which one is cheaper for in our situation? It is AT&T. And you can see that once it hits the break even point, it has changed. What is the break even point? Right here, 3 and 65, 3 and 65. So yeah, so this is how you would make use of your models, um, and compare the best buy analysis in any given situation. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Again, please make sure that you know how to write linear equations, y equals mx plus b, and then how the y-intercept and the power value representing the gradient matches, and then how to substitute numbers and create your table. So these are your prior knowledge skills before you even get to this point. Thank you. Have a wonderful, blessed day, guys. Bye bye.